Right, it's the 16th of December. The heart of winter, pretty much, in a way. Depends how you look at it. Just about at the darkest days. In fact, I think after today, the sunset goes a minute later, which should be a good thing. John's sheep have been out on the road. I think he might have taken them in. They're giving him a big hint they were getting a bit hungry, I think. I saw there was some sheep on the road and they'd been up the back lane and all sorts, and that was funny. Look, they didn't jump in my mind because they can jump down off the road, whereas they couldn't realistically ever jump up onto the road because it's like on a bank. He usually has them in from about Christmas time, I suppose, depending on how wet it is more than anything else. This year we've just had an extremely rainy and windy rain event last weekend, literally about 8 days ago now. But in fact, in my opinion, it still is not all that wet. Anywhere it's a little bit sort of drier, like up that bank there, not mudding up at all. I mean, where my sheep are isn't particularly dry, but some areas are a bit wet now, but others are still. Say you want to feed some pellets, which I am doing, there's no problem at all. And like today, you see how windy it is on that grass. We've had winds of overnight up to 58, 59 mile an hour and no rain, so it's surprising how it dries it out. I mean, the road is dry. And really, I'd say, what is it now, 15th? I was just looking at the longer term forecast and it won't be completely dry, but there's no more major rain events. So, curiously, this month will be like last month, below average rain. There was quite a big flood went down the river. The signs have all blown down or washed down. There, look. This will go on for months. See, how would anyone who wasn't local wouldn't have a clue you can't get through there? It just looks like others are doing something at the side of the road. But when you get down there, there's concrete blocks across it all, so I don't know how long they're planning to just leave that. It's really annoying coming round here to go to Gisborough. Well, you might think I'm being a bit like first world problems, but it is annoying because there's extra traffic coming through here. Because quite a lot of people, if they're going towards Gisborough, they come down Blake and they go around that way, or they used to do. That house had some damage. Looks like some ridge tiles have come off, or he's replacing or rebedding them. Castleton is very exposed, right on the ridge, especially at the top. This part up here above these new houses, it used to be called High Castleton, like it was a separate village, but there wasn't much of a division between them. We have plans afoot for this building on the right, which I don't even see it there, but this all started There's a bit of a jam, mini jam. I'm flashing my lights down here because it shines on the cars. What I was going to say about that, the building site, right? The plans are in motion to turn that into a filling station, a small filling station, and like a spa convenience store, which hopefully will do quite extended hours, because that sort of general format is quite common. Well, it's quite common around Europe, never mind UK, and often it's Spa. Isn't Spa a German company? I don't really know. But you do see Spa shops all around Europe. It's quite common. You know, certainly in Germany. So that would be really good, because the original plan was, let's say, it used to be a small, like, family-run garage, and the original, I suppose it was the founder of it. It certainly was the driver. He was behind it for 50 plus years. He died maybe nearly 20 years ago now. I don't know when it was, 15 anyway, a good few years ago. And the daughter particularly, I won't say the names, continued to run it for a while, but it was never a particularly profitable thing, and I think some of the heart wasn't in it. Well, I'm not saying, I don't really know, but since whatever, anyway, it just gradually sort of went downhill even more, and the fuel sales were never very good, because, well, I must admit, I would never go there normally to fill the pickup up, because it was always a bit dear. And I still probably won't when it's a new one, because I usually get with my fuel card somewhere else, which is much cheaper. But yeah, well, it's still. I used to often get quad bike fuel there, petrol. You could realistically drive there. It's only 2 miles with a quad bike to fill up. But I usually just bought a tin, because you need a tin of fuel at home anyway for chainsaws and lawnmowers and things like that. You don't drive them to the little dog. Don't know what that is. Ticker on. Right, that's the worst bit of the road out of the way. I don't like going through there. Well, we had quite a big flood came down the river, but at home we were near the headwaters, and I think it was pure luck there. There was a bit of a dry spell for several hours, and it just had time to kind of reduce a bit, and then we had another quite heavy period of rain. Which, if it had carried on like that through the whole thing, it would have been far worse. work out what was wrong. It felt sort of stuffy and funny in here. I used to have the aircon switched on, even though I'm not trying to cool it. It just transformed the air coming in is drier. And instantly it's much better. I've turned that on again. And it's on 19 degrees. I've gone this far, I haven't even mentioned what I'm doing. I've got my sheep to Ruswarp market. I was expecting to get maybe 10 lambs, and there's an old tub who wasn't working. He's been ready to go for a while. Last time by chance he'd gone slightly lame again, and he's still not 100% now. He isn't sort of limping, but he just walks funny. This will be okay. He's not carrying a leg. So he's in there, but I thought there was 5 or 6 cool cows, but there's actually 7. And not one of them was fit enough to go. They all look, they're not like at death's door. They look reasonably well, but they're skinny as can be. I don't know why, it's just odd really. I mean, having said that, they were taken out because there's something wrong with them. One of them had really bad mastitis. And one or two of them are limping a little bit, but not seriously, whatever. I couldn't see even one of them to go with him, because it would have been nice for when you have like coolie hours or anything else to separate them from the lambs and drive them down different passageway, and you would have it would have been nice in a way to have had one with him, so he didn't feel he was having to go on his own. It'd be easier to deal with as well, because he's a little, although he's not particularly fit. I mean, he's still heavy and very strong, as I found out when I was trying to get him into the trailer. What a carry on I had. Eventually I sort of sat him up like I was going to do his feet, and like rolled him in, because I could not get him to lift his front feet in. He knew full well why he didn't know he was going to market, but he didn't want to go in that trailer to save his life, which is understandable really. But anyway, I sort of sat him up like I was going to his feet, and then kind of rolled him into the doorway, and it was still a right carry on. I really struggled with it. It literally, almost, I was like, I had to take a little rest and get my heart slowed down, because I wasn't going to let him go. Because actually last time he nearly went, he was only slightly limpy, and I thought, well, actually he's got a bit of a limp, I'll let him go. And I don't think he's gained any weight, but he's not really limping this time. Can we go? Yes. God, it's so difficult to get out of, as I say every time. Quite a queue behind me, or further back, so I'm glad I got ahead of them. Don't know what it is causing it. Because I've got the wind behind me, I won't be going slowly, at least 50 miles an hour most of the time. Another sign, come to grief. I can't think what that one is now. Dunsley. Is it Dunsley Hall? Quite a posh one. Tree down there. This will be from last weekend though. My windscreen's a bit mucky again when you come down here with the sun behind. See all down here, look how green everything looks. It's always so, this bank, it sort of faces the sun. It's quite sheltered. But I noticed at home there was some flowers that we associate with springtime. Sort of already coming, budding. This Ruswarp service station, very occasionally they've got ridiculously cheap fuel as well. It's dearer this time, but not much. Stuff out here, like I think like a concrete mix is over spilled out or something. So do ready mix concrete at Nobles. Another option, go along here, just for a slightly different ride, see what the river's been doing, because the river was quite unusually really, it wasn't out onto here. Lots of woody debris come down. It was out onto this area here, which is actually quite unusual. It does do it because there's a tremendously long dam which you can always run over, you would have thought, without getting very high. Been into there. That must have been all floating about by the look of it. So there isn't much differential between the river and the road. The road is actually quite here, look. The road is quite near the river. But the river level is controlled by that dam, so that actually helps it to stay lower. It's really deep along there, 2 or 3 feet, I would say. So are these houses here affected? Looks like it, doesn't it? It's been flowing across that field. You can see a sort of tide mark along here. Well, that was quite interesting really, a bit of excitement. It's a really difficult one to get out of that, because people do come down here quite fast, even though it's a 40-mile-an-hour limit. Don't really fancy battling the wind right along there with this, trying to maintain 50 mile an hour. This way is about 2 miles shorter. You would hardly know. Now then, where is he? A white van with reddish writing on it. He could have waited there, like, couldn't he? In that big space. Apparently up there, if you walk up there, I don't know how you get to it, there's some like remains of a railway project. Oh, I can see it there now. I've never looked at that before. The railway project that they started working in numerous places along the length of it. The Paddy Waddle Railway. So there's like sections of embankment and cutting that never even all joined up. Never mind, never had lines on them. Well, this is a very narrow and windy road. It's actually quite a nice direct route, which avoids a lot of problems on the low road. You're swooping this way and that way across the railway line, backwards and forwards, and there's some quite narrow bridges and things. I was watching last night, it was a Trail Riders Federation video, and I did come across a few routes which they came up through Laylow, and I think they went on down Beacon Road, but I don't really know. I don't really see why he wouldn't do if you got through Laylow. Then he didn't show any of that though. He said he was at Commondale Moor, and I didn't know where that was. He said it was Commondale Moor. I'm not really sure it was. Because another one he did in Farndale, which I thought was closed, but when you look at it, the section they went on isn't closed. So it's something I might do. It's a bit of a daft one, like some more of them. You sort of go, you have to go like 5 or 10 miles to go down a short bit of muddy track. It's about 200 yards long. It's not really worth going all that far just for that. But it is one. I would have risked it because it's downhill. There is a gate at the bottom, it's a bit tricky. You had to stop and do that. This little house up here always looks like nobody lives here. It's like all, not, well, it might be a holiday let. It always looks like it's sort of shut up, doesn't it? Somebody probably has it as a second home, or perhaps a retirement option. This is one of the problems along here. You sometimes meet quite big things, but there's plenty of little places like there you can pull off without risking being bogged, really. But you just have to be careful, because there is places where you would get bogged, like there looks a bit more dodgy. You have to watch out for the odd stone and things. It's rather too well used for its own good, but still a nice little cut through road with lovely views along the up Fry up. I've got my video camera. I don't really know why, to be honest. I just wondered what you could see by way of damage around the duck bridge and things. Oh, hold on. The thing is, it floods there so regularly that you wouldn't hardly know. We've already had 2 quite major floods through there. I'm actually in the mood for a bit of motorbiking a day like this. It won't be today though, because if I get the trailer washed out today I'll be doing well. But maybe this week, it's looking quite decent for a little run out here and there.